The Lowdown. Yes, that's right, folks. This is the new series coming to us from FX and Sterlin Harjo. Sterlin worked on the really good, critically acclaimed comedy series Reservation Dogs, and this is his follow up. And it's kind of similar to Reservation Dogs about this specific town or city and the people that inhabit it, and like this whole other community that you don't normally see depicted on screen. But if it was done like a modern day noir thriller, is essentially what this is. Which is pretty fun. A big part of the series, and I know Sterlin has talked about this before, is the Long Goodbye, which is the Elliot Gould movie, which is just following this guy as his life kind of falls apart, but he's just dealing with all this stuff, trying to uncover something in this world. And that is essentially what this show is. And I think it's really good. It's really impressive. I'm not going to say it's like a perfect execution. There's a couple episodes that either drag or miss the mark of to what's going on. Maybe there's some editing choices that bog this down slightly. But this is so strong an effort from this team, and you're getting something truly unique. The Lowdown follows Ethan Hawke's character. He's this quote-unquote truthstorian who citizen in Tulsa, and he is uncovering plots. You know, he wrote an article, a scathing article in like a local website / newspaper about this very evil family that lives in Tulsa and how they're just destroying stuff. Well, one of the men in this family, played by Tim Blake Nelson, he commits suicide. But Hawke's character thinks that it was a cover-up and there's something deeper going on here. He's not an actual detective. He literally just runs like a bookstore, and he just wants to like tell the audience and his daughter what's right and what's wrong, and like figuring out these things and how do you deal with them and experience them in this very corrupt world. That's a fun premise. I think that's a really engaging story. Tulsa is not a city that gets overlooked that much, but it's not one where we always get like a definitive look at like, here's the story about Tulsa. It's not one of those cities. So I think Sterlin, growing up in this area, he knows how to play with that, and he knows what he's looking for in a show like this. He knows what types of characters to throw in the background. He knows what types of locations to highlight. It's definitely got its own flavor, and it's definitely presenting itself in a way that we don't normally see, which is kind of exciting. It makes for something unique. But it's got the classic like dry wit and clever dialogue that we've seen from this creator in Reservation Dogs, and just in this genre. Ethan Hawke plays Lee Rabin, and he's just having a great 2025. This is so much fun. I think he's doing stuff that he doesn't normally get to do, and when he does get to do this, it's not done in this way. Yes, Ethan Hawke has played like a deadbeat asshole before, but he's never done it in this way where he's constantly outmatched and outwitted, and the only thing he knows for sure is what's right and what's wrong. But at every single turn, he's getting hurt, he's getting yelled at, there are people taking advantage of him, or he's randomly sleeping with people. And it's kind of awesome, you know? Like, this is the genre. You're coming to this show familiar with the genre, so let's play with it. Let's do all the things we like. We're just going to have a cavalcade of character actors play off of Ethan Hawke, and he's going to be great with any number of them. One of the strongest things about the show is just watching Ethan Hawke let loose. Entire monologues about books, entire monologues about how corrupt everything is. He is just delivering some incredible performance. And you just love to see it. You love to see this kind of guy just succeed and kick ass and do something powerful. He's really dumb in this, and it just works so well. I do think to some extent they gave him an iconic enough look where, you know, it's not like stands out in a crowd or anything. But yeah, that's Lee. That's what he looks like. He's got the hat. He's got that shirt, he's got that stupid facial hair and the, you know, bruised eye or the big cut along his head or whatever. That's Lee. That's Ethan Hawke in this. He's really good. And just the supporting cast, it's really incredible. You got people like Keith David playing a private eye who just shows up, commands the screen, and is awesome. Kyle MacLachlan, who is just playing the embodiment of evil personified. He's kind of the antagonist throughout this piece. Very interesting what he gets to do. And as this story unravels, it's just watching all of Lee's feelings come to realization in a very satisfying way. There is corruption here. There is stuff going on that's not really heard of. things are just escalating in very distinctive and very scary ways, but still stays true to this kind of just being about one thing. What do you want to develop? What do you want to own? Power dynamics, racial dynamics, it's all here. You know, one of the final on-screen performances from Graham Greene is in this show. You have Jeannie Triplehorn, who is just really great. She's so much fun. Her character doesn't really fall into any of the categories of like the damsel in distress or the femme fatale, but she is just really strong, really fun to see what she has to deal with. Really neat character that you just like to see. Tracy Letts shows up sometimes for some reason. Talking a lot about Tracy Letts too. I've never talked about him before this year, but we've done a couple things with Tracy Letts in it now. Scott Shepherd is in this as well, who's just like this crazy SOB who's really uncomfortable. So it's good. Like, you're just getting capable, talented actors to show up on screen, wear very distinctive vests or suits, like dye their hair super insane colors, and just yell at Lee about how he's an idiot and how this world is crumbling around him. And maybe for one episode, Peter Dinklage can show up and give some of the best acting of his career. It's really incredible. Like, it's just so well executed, and the locations are gorgeous. It's filmed like a TV show. It's not cut up like, we're just telling like an 8-hour story. It's filmed and edited like a TV show. There's an ending. There are some cliffhangers to lead you to the next thing, but there's a satisfying resolution pretty much at the end of every episode. It's very well handled and very capable, which is really cool. Like, that's what you want to see from this show. And I know that Sterlin has also talked about how hard it can be to execute this type of story when you have to like meticulously plan out everything. Sure, there are a couple of beats that don't specifically work all the time, and that's okay. That's this genre. It's really hard to pick apart everything and dissect it and make it come back together in like a cohesive piece. The fact that it is succeeding at that, and it has succeeded at that, tells you that there was time and dedication put into getting this right. And I think you see that. It does feel kind of stagey with the way these people behave and look, but that's also the genre. You know, you have the muscle, you have the brain, you have random characters doing this kind of energy. You get something specific out of it. And Tulsa's a great location for it. You add in some great music cues, some really sharp dialogue, and just Ethan Hawke. And I have to keep saying this because I think it's important to note. He's having a hell of a career resurgence right now. I don't know what it is, but the past couple projects we've talked about with him, and in Blue Moon as well, he's just kicking ass. Like, he has just found his footing as this type of guy now, and I think it works so well for him. Very fun show. Very well handled. I think this is a winner, if there ever was one. You just like to see it. We don't get stuff like this a lot anymore. It kind of feels like classic television, but it's also very, like, of 2025, which is cool. Good blend of the things. I'm satisfied with this project. And is that all you need? Maybe. You know, could be. So, The Lowdown. I am going to give an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.